Hi everybody, welcome to WWE Elimination Chamber, the review show, not the preview show, because we've already had Elimination Chamber. And what a pay-per-view it was for some people. For others, it was way too damn predictable. In fact, the WWE has sent out the fan council email asking what we thought about it, and I made my thoughts known. I really did, and now I'm going to give you guys what I think about the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. First of all, I want to say that the Elimination Chamber went on, the pre-show went on for 1 full hour. They have 5 matches to talk about, folks. They do not need to go on for a full hour. This is the second to last brand split pay-per-view that we're going to get. Next time is the Fastlane pay-per-view, which should be an absolute cluster of epic proportions. And we'll see what happens there. I'm very interested to see what happens there because I'm thinking that Raw is going to kind of take over a little bit. Hopefully, we'll see something happen out of there. But here we go. Like I said, the kickoff show way too long. Why have an hour show? Paige was actually one of the highlights of the panel. The fact that she's still out there and doing things even though she's injured is great. However, I thought it was interesting that they talked to all the girls about the pay-per-view, about the Elimination Chamber match. And DeVille and Mandy Rose said that, you know, all the girls are partners and none of the partnerships will last, but, you know, ours will with Absolution. If they would have started at the same time, or if something would have happened where they had to fight, would there have been any animosity? Who knows? I don't know. So it's just kind of one of those things. I don't exactly know what would happen. The gauntlet match was talked about. Everything was talked about in nauseam at the pre-show. They did give you a match, which was Gallows and Anderson versus Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel. They need to do something and push Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel. I am tired of seeing these jobber tag teams highlighted with somebody who is a big star, and then you have their jobber tag team, like the Singh brothers, like the Miztourage, like there's a billion more, you know, that I can't even think of right now. But you have these teams that are set up, and they don't do anything. J&J Security, you know, the Cabinet with JBL. You can go back and forth on teams that are just kind of jobbers to the stars. Gallows and Anderson deserve better. Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel deserve better. And they're just kind of floating in midair. So I didn't like that. Gallows and Anderson win with the Magic Killer. Then the Revival get a little backstage promo piece. And I thought it was great, actually. The Revival need to have that shot at WrestleMania. I don't know why they're not getting it. So, if they are getting it, awesome. And maybe they'll be on the pre-show. Who knows? Booker T did show up, and they did have a conversation about him and Corey Graves. There was a great picture with him and Corey in the back, so you can check that out. That might have been the shining star of the entire pre-show, is the fact that you have Booker T there. Paul Rosenberg, I just forgot what his first name was. I was going to say Peter Rosenberg, came out and said Apollo Crews. It looked like they all jumped on him and said, "No, it's just Apollo now. It's just Apollo," because of the whole Nicholas Cruz thing with the shooter from Florida. So they wanted to make sure that the names did not mesh. So Paul Heyman also came out, which I thought was very interesting, and it sounds like Brock is going to be at Raw tonight. So of course I'm doing this Monday morning because I'm just way too damn tired after these pay-per-views, and that's kind of how it goes. So we get actual to the Elimination Chamber match. We have the Raw Women's Championship on the line. Mandy Rose, Sasha Banks, Sonya Deville, Bayley, Mickie James, and Alexa Bliss, the champion. This starts out with Bayley and Sonya Deville. I really think they could have done amazing stuff with this match. It started out way too slow. Bayley showed a little bit of fire, and I thought that was good. And then you had Mandy Rose come out. So you have Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, both from Absolution, and then Bayley. And it was 2-on-1 for 5 minutes. Why could they not have pinned her? The world may never know. And I thought the stupidest rule, and I'm going to say this when I get to the men's Elimination Chamber too, you have to pin them inside the ring. You can't pin them on the outside, which is actually part of the ring. It's on the same level. It's kind of screwy. I don't like that rule. So it's kind of like a Hell in a Cell, but you can't pin them outside. I don't get that. I mean, you got to have them in the ring, but things don't count because it's Hell in a Cell. It's Elimination Chamber. It's Satan's prison. Whatever it's called. They could have pinned Bayley easy right there and waited on the other two. Unfortunately, no pinfall happened, and then you got Sasha Banks coming out, the boss, coming out and helping Bayley beat up on Absolution. It was very interesting. Sasha started out like just a hellfire, just laying out punches and looking so good at the beginning. She hit Mandy Rose on the turnbuckle, which looked actually great. It looked like she hit Sonya Deville with Mandy Rose. And then Sasha hit the double knees on Deville. It was great. Sasha got the backstabber and the bank statement on Mandy Rose. For the first elimination, Mandy Rose has to go home. And, hey, go hang out with Goldust or go do something. That's just kind of the way it goes. Then Mickie James came out, and of course, you have Mickie, Bayley, Sasha, and Sonya still out there. Mickie climbed up to the top of the pod and hit Sonya Deville with a nice Thez press, or however you want to call it. It just looked really good. It was a jump from the top to Sonya Deville, and it really, really looked awesome. So Sonya Deville is eliminated. Then Bayley gets Mickie in the Bayley to belly. Bayley gets the pin on Mickie, and it's Bayley and Sasha against Alexa Bliss. Alexa does this great thing where she doesn't shut the cage, or she shuts the pod to not get into the cage, and then she climbs the cage knowing both of them are there, and then she goes over to the pod and playing this kind of cat and mouse game, which was brilliance all day long. It does end when Sasha Banks is on top of the pod, tries to help out Bayley, and then Bayley gets hit by Sasha Banks. Is this the start of the heel turn? Who knows? It's all woman, every woman for herself, so it's kind of one of those things. Bayley is eliminated by Alexa Bliss, and Alexa Bliss and Sasha Banks then have to have their match. Great match. I was really excited to see this whole match with Bliss and Banks. I like these two. I would kind of like to see it at WrestleMania. We're not going to get it, but I'd like to see it. Alexa Bliss hits the DDT on Sasha Banks for the pinfall victory and the win, which means she's going to go on to WrestleMania to defend her title against who we'll find out a little later. Bliss does this great promo that she says, dare to dream and dream big. I'm 5 feet of fury and I can do this and blah blah blah. The odds were stacked against her, and it was great. It kind of cut down the crowd a little bit, which I thought was awesome. It's still kind of that heel thing. She went face, she went heel. It was pretty awesome. Here's one thing that bothered me really, really bad, is that they did this promo talking about Angle going into Ronda Rousey's locker room, but then when you went to Raw Talk at the end of the night, you heard that Ronda changed with all the girls. So how could she have her own locker room but not have her own locker room? You gotta do better, WWE. You really have to do better. Twitter does a video with Braun Strowman. If it wasn't so cut and dry what was going to happen, this would have been a lot better. Titus Worldwide against The Bar. I think Titus Worldwide needed 3 victories over The Bar to have a shot at The Bar, for people to buy that they are a good team and could beat The Bar. Cesaro and Sheamus are just too good of a tag team to not be fighting the Revival every night and bringing it home. So it boggles my mind why Titus Worldwide got this shot. I hope it's the Revival at WrestleMania. I hope they give him a good amount of time, maybe even on the pre-show. I would watch that and love it, and think it's probably match of the year. I think that they should actually have that match in the middle of the 2 world title matches, or after the Ronda Rousey match. Bring it back to wrestling, but we'll just see what happens. Titus Worldwide does lose the match, unfortunately. Apollo looked amazing. Apollo, now not to be confused with the guy who used to be in TNA. Still brought it home. Titus looked alright. Both are really, really big guys. Hopefully they'll do something with them. And no continuation from the Mixed Match Challenge. Kind of disappointed in that. Just saying. The Bar win, and they stand tall with their titles. We will see, hopefully, something happen there. Asuka and Nia Jax. Very interesting stipulation. If Nia Jax wins, she will earn a spot in the Raw Women's Championship match. That's what they had to say. Asuka still not set up for the SmackDown or Raw match. She is not picked. So it would have made sense for Nia Jax to win by dubious, crazy things. Set her up for the Raw match. And then Asuka take her dubious loss to SmackDown. And then there you have your 2 women's championship matches. But they wanted to keep her undefeated streak around and still let Nia Jax look good. Asuka wins the match. And you get more Alexa Bliss, which there's nothing wrong with more Alexa Bliss. She says, hey, we're 6 weeks away from WrestleMania, and no one's ready for Alexa. So Asuka and Alexa, look, that might be the match for Mania. I can actually see Charlotte and Alexa. I'm very interested to see what they do in the next 6 weeks with the women's division. However, the next thing, we got something else to talk about, which is blah. But it's very interesting to see what they do with the women's division. We'll cover more of that here in a little bit. Roman Reigns is backstage. Very dull promo. Talking about that he'll win the Chamber and go on to defeat Brock. It's really kind of cut and dry what's going to happen. I'm really pissed at WWE for doing this kind of big match and not making it feel more important. But then we get to this. Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy. Oh my god, the most boring wrestling match I think I've ever seen in my life. Bray Wyatt is such a damn good wrestler. Matt Hardy does this song about obsolete. It's the Jeff Hardy song from TNA, even though they don't bring out Jeff Hardy. They have Matt hide in the beginning, which was stupid. Because if you're going to have somebody hide and try to be all dark and stuff like that, at least give them something to do, not come out with a flying axe handle from the stairs or the top or whatever. The fans did not buy this at all. They were chanting Rusev Day. They were playing with beach balls. If Cesaro was out there, they would have not been playing with beach balls. They would have been doing a lot better things than that. So disappointed is like the key word in this whole deal. Very, very, very sad. Matt Hardy wins the match, but nobody cared. Just nobody cared. Then here's the thing that happened that I want to talk about the whole women's division with. Ronda Rousey came out. Very interesting how Ronda Rousey comes out and Stephanie's out there, Triple H is out there, Kurt Angle is out there. And they sign this thing. Now, Triple H says all that she asked for was an invite to WrestleMania. She'll be competing at WrestleMania, so they obviously already had a plan for her. Which is weird if what's going to be set up is set up. And then he said, you're not in a title match, but you're in a match. And she goes, well, I didn't want to be given a title match, I wanted to earn it. Which made the titles look more important. I think in that one word that she wanted to earn a title match and not just be given one, that was a little kick to the UFC, because they did hand her the Bantamweight Championship. That's a kick to Triple H, who has been handed title matches and titles before without earning them, which I thought was funny. So I just thought that was kind of hilarious. Now, Triple H and Stephanie do this thing where they're going to sign the contract. Angle and Triple H are talking, and Angle, as another commenter said, he finally got his balls back. Kurt Angle said that all that they wanted to do was manipulate Rousey. They wanted to own her, as they said, and it was very apparent that Kurt Angle was turning huge face. Triple H did this great thing and said, he has the flu. I mean, it's terrible. The flu is just bad. And I love when Triple H kind of does that heelish, you just got caught, but he's trying to backtrack kind of deal. That's what makes me like Triple H that much more. Stephanie kind of plays it off a little too onerous and bitchy. But it is what it is. Triple H can take a bump, as he did. Ronda tossed him through the table. Then she signed the contract. But before she signed the contract, she got bitch slapped. I already said that once, so I'll say it again. By Stephanie. Didn't do anything to her. And I think that's only setting up for Stephanie and Ronda. Probably in a mixed match. Where you're probably going to see Angle and Triple H against Ronda Rousey and Stephanie. Or Stephanie and Triple H versus Kurt Angle and Ronda. That will be the match. See, I'm even tired, and it's 11 o'clock in the morning. But I can see that totally happen. I can't see The Rock come back. Just because I really can't see that. I know he's really, really busy with movies. I really wouldn't care to see The Rock come back either, because I do want to see Kurt Angle get his comeuppance from Survivor Series. WrestleMania is supposed to be the time where you get all your face people in and good and ready to rock and roll. That's why Shinsuke Nakamura versus AJ should be the main event. I'm going to fight that until the day that I fall over. That should be your main event for the evening, not Brock and Roman Reigns. Which I totally gave away the finish of the Elimination Chamber match, but everybody knew it anyway. And there was no surprise. I everybody and their mother has said that Roman and Brock has been the plan for a year. If it's been the plan for a year, well, it should have been way more important than this. And it wasn't as successful, and it made the Elimination Chamber look bad. Elias started the Elimination Chamber against Rollins and Balor. Or The Miz started against Rollins and Balor. Elias started by singing, though, before the whole thing started out. Braun showed up, and actually it made a really great moment where Elias was done singing, he put all his stuff away, and Braun comes in. And even the announcers say, well, Elias never wanted to go to his pod so badly in his life. Which I thought was funny. I thought it was great. And just seeing Braun go up and getting into this pod, which I think they might have even had to build a bigger one for Braun. And it was really, really weird that somebody commented online that Alexa Bliss and Braun Strowman were in the same chamber. To which I commented, hey, maybe they put their initials somewhere there. That would be kind of funny. That would be an interesting little WWE note, is, people put their initials on something, or it would just be really cool to go in the Elimination Chamber and be like, oh, Braun was here, oh, blah, blah, blah was here. And it's weird. I'm weird, but whatever, I'll take that. So, you had the match start. There was not an elimination for the longest time, which I was quite surprised about. The first elimination was The Miz, eliminated by Braun Strowman. Then everybody else was eliminated by Braun Strowman, except for Roman Reigns, and I'm just gonna go with it. The Miz was power slammed, Elias was power slammed, Cena was power slammed, Balor was power slammed, everybody was freaking power slammed. It's kind of like going to an Oprah thing. You get a power slam, you get a power slam, you get a power slam. The best power slam of the night, though, was John Cena's, as he was pinned and beaten by the monster among men, Braun Strowman. Now, at the end of the day, it was Braun and Roman Reigns, which I thought was going to happen. I thought they were going to give it at least something to go home with, but they really didn't. Reigns kind of showed that he was limited in what he had to do. It was Superman punch, Superman punch, Superman punch. Oh, by the way, here's a spear and another spear. The best part of the day, though, was the Super Frog Splash off the top of the pod onto Braun. Braun kicked out of everybody's finisher probably at least twice. Because Braun Strowman is the man, and he deserves a match against Brock Lesnar. I know he already had one, but he shouldn't have got that one. He should have got one now. Braun Strowman deserves to be a Universal Champion, and he's your money. Braun just killing people is your money. And I do not know why Vince McMahon wants to piss away his money. Maybe we'll find out with the XFL in a few years. As I gave away already, Roman Reigns won the Elimination Chamber. Last pinning Braun Strowman, even though Strowman went through 9,000 finishers, 5 other guys, and a big lunch. I'm sure he had a big lunch. Maybe that's why he lost, is because he got speared and he couldn't get up because his stomach hurt so bad because of his big lunch that he just took the pinfall so he can go back and poo. I don't know, but it was stupid. I don't want to see Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar unless Brock Lesnar kills him in 5 seconds and then calls out Braun Strowman. That I would want to see. That would be my finish. That would be the only way that I would enjoy WrestleMania. Is someone either fearing, somebody doing something, Brock Lesnar retaining, or somebody being added to the match. They did that 3 years ago. They should do that here, because I'm just not interested in WWE, so don't give me something I'm not interested in and expect me to be like, oh, it's WrestleMania, it's the best thing ever. Because it's not. Styles and Nakamura, that's going to be a hell of a match. That's going to be the best thing ever. Ronda Rousey doing anything might be fun. Anybody else doing stuff might be fun. But I'm not going to be excited about Roman and Brock. I'm going to probably watch it because it's not a John Cena match. I'll probably fall asleep during that match. But at the end of the day, we'll see what happens. And if it's John Cena against The Undertaker, I heard this thing about etiquette afterwards. Cena did this interview where it sounded like he was going to retire. John, just retire. Just leave. Nobody wants you there anyway. I don't know if any of them actually like you because you just, take their wins and, take their finishers and then jump out of them. Because you're big match John. But if it is against The Undertaker, I would be disappointed because The Undertaker is The Undertaker. He shouldn't be fighting The Undertaker because he should be retired. So, I'm going to stop complaining now about all the WWE stuff. I'm going to say that Alexa Bliss is probably in line for the biggest push, I think. She just needs to be, shot up to the moon with Sasha Banks and Bayley. Please do something for those three. And make them big, huge, mega superstars. Bigger than Charlotte Flair on the SmackDown side. Asuka will probably go to SmackDown. I'm cool with that too. I'm cool with Fatal 4-Ways and Triple Threats and all these other matches to get people on the card. Give me something good, WWE. I challenge you on that for WrestleMania. I challenge you to give me good content I can talk to people about and enjoy and love. And folks, this has gone on for 27 minutes. Much longer than any of the other pundits I've heard so far talk about the Elimination Chamber, and I do it by myself. So, I'm going to get out of here. You guys have fun. Enjoy Elimination Chamber again. Go watch it. It's 3 hours long. It's like 6 of these. And we'll see you guys here real soon on thescottshow.com. Like, share, subscribe, do all the things you can do. And we'll hit you guys up soon here on thescottshow.com. Thank you guys so much. Like, share, subscribe on YouTube. Please, please, please. And by the way, thank you. Have a great rest of your day.